Hello everybody, it's Philip from MGD 1506 and this is our week 1 project video. We are creating a game for the iOS platform as requested, and in this case I'm using SpriteKit to create the game. So let's go ahead and just show you a quick rundown of how the MGD space game works. Go ahead and press start game here. This game uses the accelerometer to go ahead and fly a ship around the screen in the up and down position. You can shoot enemy targets and gain points by shooting them. Also, you can shoot asteroids that come across the screen. If you don't know if you can see it, but you'll see that the asteroids are rotating when they come on the screen. That was a fun little experience to figure out. You'll also notice that the ships that come on the screen are also random sizes, and so that is something that we did as well. All of this is preloaded information. The number of ships and asteroids on the screen are random every single time you load the game. And if you die here, which we'll go ahead and have my daughter die, there we go. We're taken to a game over screen where we can see if we can replay the game or click the main menu. In this case, we're going to replay the game, and we see that we now have a new ship. And every new game has a new ship. In other words, there's always going to be something new for you to do. Plus, the number of enemy ships and asteroids per game is different, as well as the number of lasers that you can shoot at one time, so that you can't just mass spam things. As we can see, there are several audio sprite kits here. We have some sounds for when the player hits a target for the ship, when the asteroid is hit, as well as when the player is hit. So it works out quite nicely. We do have also audio for the background scenes too. So we'll go ahead and just end this game here. So we were told at the beginning of the term to go ahead and focus on iOS, so I chose SpriteKit. And I wanted to make sure that I chose SpriteKit because, one, it is native to iOS. It is also updated quite a bit, so that's the second major thing. And the third major thing is the documentation that Apple has on there, as well as many of the other iOS development blogs on SpriteKit, is just amazing. We have some great tutorials that teach us how to do things from soup to nuts. It's just brilliant. Of course, there are some cons with SpriteKit over another framework like Cocos. SpriteKit doesn't have any native background handling. You have to use AV Foundation for that. And SpriteKit tends to be a little long in the update methods, especially if you're not using contact queues or touch queues. Queues are great, but they're not always as stable as they should be because they can cause enumeration problems. So the alternative was going to use the Cocos framework. I decided not to use Cocos, even though it does do the same update methodology that I use. Cocos is great and it handles physics wonderfully, but there are some limitations with it. For the most part, it does have to add other physics engines to Cocos, but SpriteKit has Box 2D built into it, so why would I want to do that? Plus, I found the language a little bit easier to understand, and the semantics to understand a lot easier with SpriteKit. It directly related to the UI responders, and that is something that Cocos just could not do. Now, what did I find the most valuable this week? I have to tell you, all the information that I received online from the tutorials on SpriteKit for beginners from Way Renderlish and Victoria Lenderish, and several of the other tutorials that I've already posted on the forums about. They're just absolutely wonderful. How to create Space Invader games, Candy Crush games. Some things did work, some things did not. For example, I'm not using touch queues like they do recommend. I also don't like the way that they use defines at the top instead of using a global objects property, so I didn't want to do that. One of the things that you'll notice in here is that I am using a game properties object, which is this right here, and it has all of my game properties in this class. Literally anything dealing with the game is going to be here. So if it's a ship for the player, if it's any of the vector math, if it's any of the sounds, any of the lives and things like that, it's going to be in this class. And in the game scenes themselves, they don't actually store that information. They just reference what's actually in the game properties. So for example, when I added my player to the screen, I added a ship there, and now I'm referencing it via the game properties. The great thing behind this is I can use that class throughout any of the other scenes that I have. I think that's it, guys. Hope you like MGD Game for what it is. And you have a great day. Bye-bye.